let's get on to the Wednesday Night Wrestling Blitz here between AEW and NXT for the week here. We'll begin with AEW Wednesday Night Dynamite first. Taped episode from the Nightmare Factory in Norcross, Georgia. Tony Schiavone and Chris Jericho were on the call again, except for the main event, which Jim Ross called, which we'll talk about when we get to there. The show opened up with a pre-taped Jake Roberts promo, another good promo from him. This was pretty good stuff here. So that leads into a semi-finals match for the TNT title between Lance Archer and Colt Cabana here. I thought the match was okay. The outcome was never in doubt here. Ultimately, Lance Archer, pretty much a showcase for him, though. Colt Cabana did get a few shots in. Archer won eventually with the chokeslam and also the blackouts. So Lance Archer advances as he should have. We had Britt Baker taking on Cassandra Golden next here. Again, we saw what happened last week with Britt Baker, who got her nose busted in the match that she lost. So here she took on Cassandra Golden. She wound up getting her win back here, Britt did. She won with the curb stomp with Golden biting the ring rope. So we've seen that before, so Britt Baker gets a win here. And what I thought was, was pretty good stuff here. The Inner Circle had a conference call. They did what they called the Bubbly Bunch, which was obviously a play off the Brady Bunch. How they did the guys and the dogs and the 9 boxes and all that. And so they did that. Basically, they were making fun of the Elite here. So kind of humorous stuff here. I guess it was pretty good, I thought. Sammy Guevara took on Serge D here in the next contest. A showcase for Sammy Guevara. He won with Feast Your Eyes. Not a whole lot to say about it. Afterwards, Sammy Guevara cut a promo saying he'd beat the crap out of Darby Allin in the TNT title tournament, and then he continued to attack Serge D, and so Darby Allin came out to make the save. So they're clearly setting up that program coming up. I believe that's on next week's program. Next match on the card was Kip Sabian taking on Chuck Taylor, the best friends here. Match, it's okay. It's a decent match. Ultimately, in the end, after assistance from Penelope Ford and Jimmy Havoc, Kip Sabian was able to win on a roll-up. So, not a whole lot to say about it. It was fine for what it was. Kip Sabian getting a win here. It doesn't really hurt Chuck Taylor in the end. Shawn Spears took on Justin Law, who was making his debut here. Essentially a squash here. This was a showcase for Spears. Excuse me. Shawn Spears won with the C4 in the end, so he looked dominant going forward. And then we got notices for next week's show to include Darby Allin and Sammy Guevara's match here, and then Kip Sabian taking on Dustin Rhodes in the TNT Championship Tournament. We also know that Kenny Omega will be in action next week, and then we'll have Orange Cassidy taking on Jimmy Havoc. So they're going to continue that program as well with those teams. Your final match of the night here was a no-holds-barred empty arena match for the AEW World title here with Jon Moxley defending the AEW World title against Jake Hager. Jim Ross called the match by himself here. I did not think this was a very good match, to be honest with you. I thought it was too slow. I thought a lot of plotting. I didn't think the pacing was all that great here. Moxley wound up winning here. Jim Ross's commentary I thought was pretty good. I thought the most exciting thing about the whole match. The match itself I didn't think was all that exciting. Moxley retained the title in the end after a chair shot followed by the paradigm shift into the chair. So Moxley retaining no surprise here, and that's how they went off the air. So, that was it. That was AEW Wednesday Night Dynamite from the Nightmare Factory in Norcross, Georgia. Let's move on to WWE NXT. It took place from Full Sail University in Winter Park, Florida. It was taped earlier in the day. Tom Phillips and Byron Saxton were on the call for the show here. Opening contest had Finn Balor taking on Fabian Aichner here. Very good match between these two. These two told a great story. They gave it plenty of time. Marcel Bartel was out there in Fabian Aichner's corner. Walter was nowhere to be found here. Balor was able to fight him off throughout the match, and ultimately Balor was able to win in the end by hitting Aichner with the 1916 after the stomps, so the coup de grace. So Finn Balor gets a big win here, so we have that. In a pre-recorded video package, Charlotte Flair talked about her career and her current NXT Women's title reign here, and then she went on to say that she wants Mia Yim to be her first challenger, which is kind of interesting. even though she's going to be taking on Io Shirai. So, putting over Mia Yim, that was kind of interesting. So we'll see where that goes. Next match was a follow-up to something that happened a couple of weeks ago. We had Xia Li taking on Aaliyah here. Of course, a couple of weeks ago, they did the deal where Xia Li was attacked mysteriously backstage. Of course, Aaliyah eventually admitted to it. So they have the match here. Xia Li ultimately gets her revenge. She dominates Aaliyah here for the most part and winds up winning in the end. And what should have been a decisive outcome here, she got the win. So we got the NXT Interim Cruiserweight Championship Tournament match here. Of course, they did the deal here. They explained where they have to do this tournament because the champion, of course, because of what's going on, can't travel right now to defend the titles. So they're having this tournament, and they have Akira Tozawa taking on taking on Isaiah Swerve Scott here. This was a very good match. A very good match here from these guys. These guys told a great story, I thought. A lot of back and forth action here. I was never bored with watching this. In the end, Akira Tozawa actually got the surprise win over Swerve Scott when he hit the senton off the top rope. So a surprise win here for Tozawa. He bounces back after losing on Raw. Afterwards, Tozawa said he would become the Cruiserweight Champion again. He has held the title before, but it only held it for a short time, like 3 or so years ago. So we'll see where that goes from here. We had a video package about Aaliyah Hila del Fantasma that was played here. We're going to see that individual coming up here soon. Next match was Tegan Knox taking on Raquel Gonzalez here. Of course, Dakota Kai was out in the court of Raquel Gonzalez. Dakota does get involved during the match here. However, Shotzi Blackheart came out to even up the odds here and was able to fight off Dakota Kai for a while. And then while Gonzalez was distracted by Blackheart when she tried to attack her, Tegan Knox schoolgirled her and rolled her up from behind and actually got the surprise win here over Raquel Gonzalez. So Tegan Knox celebrating with Shotzi Blackheart as they left. So a big win for Tegan Knox here. A bit of a surprise, I thought. We got a bit of a video package about Keith Lee's journey to becoming a wrestler and then talking about where he is today being the North American champion. So this went on for a little while. It was pretty good, I thought. Good little documentary talking about his journey here. Next match was Dexter Lumis taking on Tui Miles here. Of course, Tui Miles we had seen on Raw losing to Angel Garza. Pretty much a showcase here for Dexter Lumis. He won with the Anaconda Vice here for the tap out. Looked pretty dominant, as he should have. We were scheduled to get a face-to-face with Adam Cole, Bebe, and Velveteen Dream. Adam Cole basically cut a promo again on video from his house. Basically went on to say that no one deserves a shot at the NXT title, and then the Undisputed Era will soon have all the gold once again. So we'll see if that happens. So back in the PC, Velveteen Dream cut a promo on Adam Cole, basically when he was during which he called him the greatest NXT champion of all time. Finn Balor actually entered and argued that he was actually the greatest NXT champion of all time, which I would agree with, by the way. And then he went on to say that, quote, ignorant comments will get you a date with the Prince. Velveteen Dream told Balor to be a gentleman and pick him up next Wednesday night. So apparently we're going to have a match between these two next week. So that should be pretty good. Looking forward to that. We had Malcolm Bivens cutting a promo on behalf of Indus Sher. Here is the new tag team that he's managing. Decent little promo, I thought, trying to get them over. We had 4 matches that were announced for next week's episode of NXT. We have Hilo Del Fantasma taking on Gentleman Jack Gallagher here in that Cruiserweight Interim Tournament match. We have Kushida taking on Tony Nese. We have Jake Atlas taking on Drake Maverick and Shotzi Blackheart and Tegan Knox teaming up to take on Raquel Gonzalez and Dakota Kai. So actually some pretty good action coming up on next week's program, so that should be pretty good. So that's what we have as far as that action goes. So let's see. Let's get on to the main part of the show here. We continue. Before the main event here, the NXT Tag Team title match, Pete Dunne announced on the screen that he had chosen Timothy Thatcher, who we finally are going to get to see here be in action. He's going to be taking his place to be Matt Riddle's partner while he's gone right now because of what's going on. So in the main event was the NXT Tag Team title match here. We had Matt Riddle and Timothy Thatcher taking on Bobby Fish and Roderick Strong of Undisputed Era. Very good match here. A lot of good storytelling here. Each guy got a chance to shine during the match. Thatcher ultimately got the win for his team in the retaining of the NXT Tag Team titles by submission. He tapped out, I believe it was Roderick Strong, if I'm not mistaken here. And then we saw Dexter Lumis staring ominously from the shadows during the match. So we had that. And then finally, just before they went off the air, we had Tommaso Ciampa in a video message telling Johnny Gargano that he was the better man. And then we see Killer Kross, accompanied by Scarlett Bordeaux, attack Tommaso Ciampa from behind, so they're clearly setting up Tommaso Ciampa and Killer Kross for the next big program here, so that should be pretty good. So that was NXT that took place from Full Sail University in Winter Park, Florida. Alright, let's see ratings now. They're in for this week for both WWE, NXT, and AEW Wednesday Night Dynamite. For the second week in a row, NXT topped AEW Dynamite in viewership. NXT did 692,000 viewers, which was down 0.1% from last week. And AEW did 683,000 viewers, which was down 1% from last week, according to Show Buzz Daily, and meaning that NXT won by 1.3% this week. AEW ranked 29th in the demo this week in the 150, while NXT ranked 58th. AEW ranked 74th in viewership, and NXT was a little higher at 72nd. Last week's Dynamite did 692,000 viewers. They were down 9,000 viewers and ranked 32nd in the Cable 150 and 73rd in viewership. NXT did 693,000 viewers. They were down 1,000 from last week, and they ranked 51st in the Cable 150 in the demo and 79th in viewership. This is the lowest Dynamite viewership of 2020, and it's also the lowest non-holiday AEW viewership in their short history since October, tied with the December 18th episode. The lowest Dynamite viewership overall is the Thanksgiving week show on November 24th, which did 663,000 viewers. AEW drew a 0.25 rating in 18-49 demo, while NXT did a 0.17 in the 18-49 demo. So AEW was down 100th of a point from last week. They did 0.26 last week, while NXT dropped 0.02 of a point. Last week they were at 0.19. AEW's 0.25 rating is tied for the December 18th and April 1st episodes for the lowest since they started in October. Special report on Fox News Channel topped the night in viewership and in the 18-49 demo with a 0.56 rating in the demo and 5.586 million viewers overall. Chicago Fire on NBC topped the night on network television in viewership with 9.456 million viewers, and The Masked Singer on Fox Television topped the night in the demo with a 1.8 rating. So with NXT winning the overall this week, AEW's lead now is at 22 wins for them. NXT now has 5 wins with 2 in a row, and we have the 1 tie. My pick of the week this week is NXT. I just thought NXT was just slightly better again. I actually like the Cruiserweight interim title type match they have going on there. I like the Tozawa match that he had there with Swerve Scott. I thought that was pretty good. I thought their main event, well, like I said, Jim Ross did a good job calling it. I just thought the match was not very good, and I actually liked what NXT was doing there. I liked the tag team title match at the end and the stuff they did with Killer Kross and Tommaso Ciampa, so I just thought their stuff was a little bit better. So NXT is my pick of the week. So through 26 weeks, I have NXT with 16 picks and AEW with 10 picks.